Hey there, and welcome back to Tim Talks Cooking. Today we are talking Meal Prep 101. That's right, Keto Meal Prep 101 for the week. And today I'm going to share with you something I do pretty much every week to make my life just a little bit easier, because you know what? I also have other things to do besides cook all the time, and I do love to spend my time in the kitchen. You know I do. But there are always those times when you come home from work on a weekday and you just don't want to start from scratch. Here's how you keep from bumming out or from falling off the diet on that day and going to McDonald's or something or ordering pizza. You're going to have stuff ready in the freezer that you can just get out and get ready to go. Today I'm going to show you how to make one heck of a hamburger. Let's get started. Eating cheaply on keto is just like eating cheaply on any other budget. Now here I don't really want to show the brand name of this, but I buy these. This is 3 pounds of hamburger. This is 80/20 ground beef that I bought on sale for $5.69. We're going to make 8 really generous hamburger patties out of this. That means that each hamburger is only going to cost us about 70 cents altogether. That's really cheap, and compare that to what you pay even at the cheapest fast food restaurant. I'm going to get the hamburger out of this. I give it a couple of slices, one along the little metal goober on the end, one over here, and then I slice down the length of that. When I see these on sale at my grocery store, I buy them up. I buy as many as I can afford to buy, and I freeze them for use later on, and that way I have cheap ground beef all year round. Now here I'm going to make 8 patties out of it. I'm going to eyeball this like I do just about everything. Cut it in half, cut the half in half, each of those halves in half. Same thing here. And in my kitchen, because I cook everything from scratch, I really like to have these make-ahead things ready. So easy. Basically what I'm going to do here is make a big meatball out of each one of these slices. I can tell on some of them that are bigger than others. I'm just going to alter that as I go along. Grab up all the pieces, of course. And if you want to be precise about this, of course, you could weigh each of these out and make sure they're exactly the same. These should each be about 6 ounces apiece. And that is roughly, and I like to make them as even as possible. But again, I don't really want to go to the trouble to weigh everything out. That one's a little bigger. There we go. I think we pretty much got it there. Next step is to make a burger-shaped patty out of each one. Here's how I do it. Now this is a little trick I learned, I will admit, watching Rachel Ray, who, by the way, I just love on TV. Anyway, here we go. And we want to make a little indent in the center, because hamburgers like this, they tend to puff up in the middle, and we're just going to avoid that by making a little indent. Isn't that a cute little hamburger? I'm going to continue on until I've done that with each one of these. Obviously, there are lots of ways you could flavor this meat if you like. Before you make it into hamburger patties, you could put some garlic powder in it, or some garlic and onion powder, or really whatever you like. I want to keep this simple, so I'm just going to have hamburger here, and I'm going to season it generously with kosher salt. And this is one of the keys to making a great hamburger. Hamburger wants seasoning, so you really don't want to hold back too much with the salt. You don't want to go crazy, mind you, but look at this generous amount of salt I'm using. This is not too much at all. And a generous amount of freshly ground black pepper on each one. I'm only going to do this one side for now, because it's easier to do the other side when it's in the skillet. We're going to put this side down in the skillet when we fry them up. While I'm doing this, I'm preheating 2 large skillets over medium-high heat. I'm going to leave them on the heat for about 3 minutes before I put these in there. I want those pans to be searing hot when this meat hits the skillet there. We want it to sizzle, and we want it to sear, and we want to make a nice crust on each of these. Our skillets are ready. Let's get these burgers in there. Now, we're not going to be able to cook all of these at once. There we go, that's the sound we want to hear. I'm thinking here, maybe 3 at a time at the most. And we still have 2 more to get in there now. Here at this point, we want to season side 2, the flip side, just as before, generously, with salt and black pepper. You can see these are starting to smoke. I'm going to turn them down to medium, and I'm not going to touch them for about 2 entire minutes until they develop that crust. This is really the best way to make a delicious hamburger. It's now been a good 2 minutes. Let's have a look at how we're doing here. I can tell this one, before I even turn it over, is going to be beautiful. Look at that beautiful dark brown crust. That's exactly what we want. Now it's time to turn the rest of these over. As you can see, even the burgers in the non-stick skillet have developed that lovely dark brown crust. I'm going to flip them over and let them cook for another 3 to 5 minutes. One thing you definitely do not want to do is to push down on your hamburgers with your spatula in order to squeeze the fat or the juices out of them. You want all of that in your hamburger. That's what makes your hamburger delicious. Don't squash your hamburger. 3 minutes have gone by. I'm going to flip these back over again. Unfortunately, the second side never gets that beautiful crust on it. There we go. We're going to give these another 2 to 3 minutes. To test whether your hamburgers are done, I recommend that you use a meat thermometer like this one. Ground beef is safe to eat when it reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see, if you can see closely here, there's still some blood in this one. The juices will run clear at 160, and you just insert the thermometer and wait for the reading. Here's how I like to serve my hamburger. I like to cover it with some sharp cheddar cheese and melt it on there. Serve it with a little bit of my sugar-free ketchup and some homemade Dijon mustard, some of my homemade canned pickles, and a nice little side salad with some chopped raw vegetables on it. I'm going to finish this off with a garnish of some nice green onions. And of course, a little dressing for my salad. In this case, that's just going to be oil and vinegar. Well, alright, let's give it a taste here. Check it out. Oh yeah, get a little of that Dijon mustard, some ketchup action going on there. Oh, really delicious. The hamburger is soft and tender, juicy, really just lovely. With that cheese on it, of course, and the condiments, really very nice. Of course, this salad is going to be just delicious. Have a pickle with it or so. This is going to make a great lunch. You know what? The rest of them, they're going straight in the freezer once they cool off, and we'll have hamburgers ready at the snap of your fingers anytime for the rest of the week. Listen, thanks so much for joining us here today at Tim Talks Cooking. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and especially subscribe before you go. We'll catch you next time at Tim Talks Cooking.